Hey guys! A couple of you have reached out to me over the past week asking for help with bowls. So here's a mini tutorial to help you. I'm using 700 grams of speckled stoneware clay here. This will give me a bowl of about 6 to 7 inches wide and 2.5 to 3 inches high. Wedge the clay really well. With the wheel going full speed, I centre the clay and cone up and down twice. I'll use my sponge as a water reservoir whilst coning down. Sorry about the knocking sound, I forgot to put the nuts on my bat pins, so they're rattling around a bit. Push the clay down into a disc shape with a diameter of roughly 3.5 to 4 inches. This will be the diameter of the inside of my bowl. I locate the centre of my disc using my middle or index finger. I have my thumb of my left hand on top of my fingers to give them added stability. Only when I'm sure I'm dead in the middle and my finger is still, I'll push down to form a hole. I'll stop when I think I have between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch in the base. Now I'm going to open out. It's important that when you're opening out, you keep consistent pressure. If you need to add more water to prevent friction, like I did here, move your hand away from the clay slowly. Any sudden jerky movements can pull the clay out of centre. Now I'm using the side of my thumb to compress the base. I will use a light but sure pressure to go from the centre over to 9 o'clock. My 9 o'clock, that is. This will help prevent S-cracks and give you a nice smooth base. If you aren't sure how thick your base is, use the needle trick. Take a skinny needle and push it straight down all the way to the wheel head. Run your index finger down the needle until it meets the clay. Hold your finger still and then lift out the needle. The length of needle after your fingertip is how thick your base is. This is between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. That's a good thickness if you want to add a foot. Without a foot, try and stick to 1/4 of an inch. I'll heel over the hole by compressing the base again. Now for the first pull, which I call the thumb pull. I'll do this pull with my left hand. Working at 4 o'clock on the wheel, my left thumb is on the outside of the clay with my fingers on the inside acting as a backstop. My right hand is holding the sponge full of water. Using my sponge, I'll trickle water over the spot where I'm pushing the clay so I don't ever get any friction. Starting from right at the bottom of the base, I push the clay with the pad of my thumb towards the centre of the wheel. The clay grows taller as I push. I'm always moving slower than the wheel. I'll set the rim to give it strength, allowing the rim to glide between my thumb and index finger of my left hand and holding my right index finger over the top. Now I'll do my second pull, which I call the sponge pull. Still working at 4 o'clock on the wheel, I'll use the sponge like a little pad in between my fingers and the clay. This helps to prevent any friction. You might notice my left index finger is hooked over the rim and is connected to my right hand. Having my hands connected like this, I feel gives me more stability and means my hands are moving at the same speed. This time I'm encouraging the clay to go straight up. Now for the third pull. I'll repeat the motion from the second pull, but now encouraging the walls to flare outwards to give me the start of my bowl shape. Being careful to lessen the pressure on the clay as it's now much thinner. I'll also reduce the speed of my wheel to be about half speed. As I'd like this bowl to be a little wider, I'm going to repeat the third pull again. There. I always remember to set the rim in between each pull. I'm not sure if you can see, but I have a little ridge on the inside of my bowl. I don't want that. I want a smooth curve. So I'm going to use a stiff rubber kidney to help shape the interior. Trickling the clay with water to avoid any friction, and with the wheel now travelling at about a quarter speed, I'll use the narrower end of the kidney and hold it at about 45 degrees at 3 o'clock, allowing the clay to slide beneath it, gently holding the side of my finger on the outside of the clay to ensure it's all coming in contact with the kidney evenly. The curve of the kidney helps to eliminate the hump. I'll repeat this until I'm happy. Taking out any standing water, finally, I'll finish off the rim using my chamois leather, draping it over the clay, allowing the rim to pass beneath. This gives a nice rounded edge and gets rid of any sharpness. Using a bamboo knife, I'll cut away any excess clay around the base. And then wire it through. I'll leave it to dry until leather hard, and then I'll trim it and add a foot. Let me know if you have any questions.